Hey everybody, my name is Ronnie George and I'm a real estate broker out of Louisiana, and I've been selling real estate for about 14 years now, and I'm going to be presenting this course to you called the 7 Steps to Six Figures, and it talks about exactly how you can make $100,000 a year selling real estate. Now, this is everything that I've done over the past 14 years that helped me build the exact business that I'm going to be teaching to you today in these 7 steps. So to dive right into who this is for, it could be anybody, really, anybody who's currently selling real estate, anybody who owns or manages a small team of agents or even wants to, or even anybody wanting to get into the industry, whether they're a small business owner or whether they just sell something in general, whether it's furniture, cars, whatever it is, they're interested in real estate. And for those that are working a 9-to-5 job and want a little bit more flexibility in their life, this is a great option for you because it's going to give you that blueprint so that way you can make $100,000 a year consistently selling real estate. Now, even if you've never sold a home, these 7 steps can work for you. It's going to help you generate a consistent flow of clients and give you that predictability month after month. And even if you have a great business right now and you want to scale it a little bit more, these 7 steps are going to help you do that and allow you to free up some time and automate your workflow. Now, another goal of this video is it's going to help you increase your sales so that you're at least closing at least 4 to 5 deals a month. And also it's going to eliminate those outdated and time-consuming techniques that are still taught by some brokerages today, like door knocking and cold calling, by moving you to targeted marketing and focused prospecting, allowing you to connect with a ton more people who are motivated and interested in your service without spending a ton of money or breaking the bank. Now, basically everything in this video is going to be exactly what you need to know so that you can make over $100,000 a year using predictable systems instead of all the guesswork and constant course correction. Now, this is everything that I've used to build my entire brand and brokerage over the past 14 years, all condensed in this video in these 7 easy to implement steps. Now, a couple rules for today's training. I just want to let you know this is not a get-rich-quick type thing. You cannot just click a button and make a ton of money, or we're not into tricking people and just trying to convince them that we're something that we're really not. You've actually got to be dedicated to improving the value of your clients' lives. And if you're not interested in something like that, then I probably can't help you, because I really only want to help those that actually want to help their clients. And a couple other things: if you do not put in the work, you're not going to get the results, because neither my results or my agent's results are really typical, but anybody can replicate them if you simply follow these steps that you're going to be learning today. So does this sound like you? Do you have some months to where you actually make a lot of money, but you just can't seem to maintain it? Or even maybe every month you start out wondering where you're going to get your next client from. And do you know that you're worth more than you're currently making, but you really just can't seem to figure out how to increase those sales and your income? And do you see others in the industry making a ton of money and wondering what in the world they're even doing to even get all that business? And do you feel that you're working too hard in your business? You know, maybe working too many hours and you're doing too many activities, but you really feel like you're just kind of burning yourself out. And if you feel that online marketing is something you just know you need to get into, but you're really just not sure how to go about doing it, this is probably perfect for you, because a lot of times people feel like when they get a new listing, they get stressed out because they can't figure out how to guarantee a sale for their clients. They can promise them the world, but they just don't know how to deliver it. Or even if you feel like there's an invisible ceiling on the amount of money that you can make each month, but you just can't seem to crack it, because I can tell you right now that your real problem isn't yourself. It's that you're just stuck in the old model and you just really haven't adjusted to what I call the new model, the one that's highly leveraged, profitable, and predictable. Because when you move to this new model, you're going to have complete control over who you work with, how you work with them, and the commission you can command, because I'm going to teach you in these 7 steps how to do every single one of these, and it's going to blow your mind of just how much fun you're actually going to be having when it comes to selling real estate. You're going to be able to generate clients on demand with predictability month after month, with an exact idea of how much it costs to get a new client and what time period. So you know that you're going to be able to flip on a switch and just get clients coming to you at whatever pace you want them to, because your business is going to be much more simple and significantly more profitable with less moving parts and overhead. Because once you remove that glass ceiling on your income, all those problems are going to disappear, and you're going to push right through it without having to do more stuff or more busy work. And you'll finally have a proven system that you're going to be able to repeat that $100,000 year after year after year without all the guesswork. And the best part about it is you're going to be tapping back into that joy that got you into the business in the first place, while removing all that complexity and time-draining energy. So who am I? Well, my name is Ronnie George, and as I've mentioned before, I'm a real estate broker, and I've been selling real estate for about 14 years now. I started selling real estate when I was 18 years old, living at home, and right now I currently own and operate my own real estate brokerage. I'm an independent broker, and I make a little over $250,000 a year. But the main thing is I specialize in helping my real estate agents build their systems, and I help other people create those same exact systems in their business and build teams so that way they can deliver predictability. So just to let you know, I'm not really one of those types that really just likes to sing my own praise, because I want you to meet Tara. Tara's actually one of our agents, and it's her first year in the business. She made a little bit over I'm thinking it was about $120,000 if I can remember correctly, because she had a little over $4 million in sales, almost $4.5 million in sales, or actually just right over $4.5 million now that I read that. Because she started off as a teacher. You know, I had went to school with her husband. He reached out to me and said, hey, my wife's tired of being a teacher. She loves what she does, but she's just not making the income that she knows that she's capable of. So we got her set up, got her licensed, and next thing you know, Tara is making a little over $11,000 a month. And our only problem she's having right now is just finding homes for her clients, because there's just limited inventory out there. So she went from $36,000 a year to now consistent $10,000 months. And the cool thing is, here's Heather. Heather actually started as a part-time small business owner, and her family grew up in the real estate industry. So she just naturally knew that she was going to kind of take that path herself. So she actually closed down her business because real estate was making her far more money just by following these systems that we've implemented. It kept her overhead costs extremely low, and she was able to shut that business down, and now she's making a little over $10,000 a month on average, and she's easily going to make over $150,000 this year and years to come, simply by using these methods that I'm going to be showing you today. And here's Tina, one of our top producers. She's made a little bit over $13 million in sales in just 1 year. She was at a big box brokerage rather, that all they really taught her was, the kind of watered down training, the cold calling, the door knocking, the events, the basic stuff. But she really knew that she was capable of more, but she just wanted more insight and more training. So she reached out to me, became a broker or an agent with me, and she took her average of $45,000 that she was making at that other big box brokerage, and we already brought her up to over $100,000 her first year, and she's bringing in now over $32,000 a month on average. She's absolutely crushing it. And then here's Dylan. He actually got his real estate license, his pre-licensing, in 1 weekend, took it, got licensed, and was a licensed real estate agent within 30 days. We were working on his action plan of what he needed to do to get going, because he had no sales experience. He didn't know where to get started or what to do. So we sat down, went over these 7 steps that I'm going to be talking about today, and he implemented those to a T, got got 2 contracts under contract within 30 days, and now he's just bringing in money left and right. He's just stacking it up in his savings account. He's actually a full-time firefighter and just does real estate for fun and only has to put in very little effort to consistently be bringing in this money. So, and that's just the start of it. You know, I've been doing this for 14 years total, but I've been a broker for the past 2 years. So that's where the training and mentorship really has just taken off. I've helped 3 people get over $100,000 a year, and I've helped over 17 others in my immediate area go to that 5- and 6-figure level, and countless others with just training, education, and just free advice. But that was all before I decided to put all this into a 7-step process that, well, now I'm showing that to you today. So what is this new model? There are 7 steps that you have to have in your business if you want to play at this 6-figure level. Number 1, you've got to stop being a generalist, and instead you got to define your own mountain and you got to own it, which means you need to be a specialist. Because you see people like LeBron James, they don't play baseball one week and then go and play basketball the next. Basketball is LeBron's mountain. He defined it, he owned it, he defends it. There's a lot of agents out there that they'll be a for sale by owner person one week, they'll focus on new construction the next week, and then they'll focus on investors the week after. You know, people lose respect for people like that because they see them flip-flopping back and forth all over the place, and they can't seem to make a decision. They just confuse them. They see them as very flaky. So they kind of just keep their distance, and they don't really go to them because, well, maybe one week they might even be a real estate agent, and the next week they might not be. Because what you need to do is you need to define your area of mastery. You got to climb to the top of that mountain and defend it like hell, because it's a lot easier than you think to be the best in the world at one thing, but it's extremely impossible to be the best in the world at multiple things. You need to double down on where your strengths are. You need to focus on that. So I really want you to sit back and think about that. What are the things that you absolutely love to do that you know that you can be best at? Whether it's new construction, a new development, investments, condos, first-time home buyers, relocations, vacation properties, whatever it is, I really want you to sit back and really think about the things that you absolutely love, and you really just want to focus on being the absolute best at it. Become an expert. Know everything there is to know about that one specific thing, because you're going to own that. And no, here's the other thing. Don't feel that just because you commit to one thing that you have to stick to it forever. You just need to get started off by picking one thing and moving forward, because a few years down the road, or even a few months, you might realize you don't really love that thing, but at least you started in focusing. That's the whole point of this. You got to start focusing your attention. Because, see, Tina, someone who actually implemented exactly what I taught them, became the #1 agent kicking off the new year. She had over 1.2 million in sales, and the leads that we were able to provide her helped her achieve this, as well as that focus and guidance. She took that, she implemented it, and she immediately got results. So number 2, you've really got to cut out those non-income producing offers and only focus on the offer that is actually your core service. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that if you're doing open houses or CMAs or property evaluations, or you're, doing different events for first-time home buyers, or volunteering at your church and providing all this, training and mentorship for free for your company, whatever it is, if you feel that you're kind of stretched thin and you're doing all these things and you're providing all these services, you're not really moving the needle. You really need to cut back all the things that are just wasting time. You see, even Steve Jobs did this when he went back to Apple. He had 30 days, or Apple had 30 days of cash left in the bank. Steve went and cut back 80% of that product line and returned back to Apple's core business. So if you find yourself getting off track, if you find yourself doing all these extra things, you really need to dial back on the stuff that actually moves the needle. I really want you to resonate on that. The things that move the needle. I want you to ask yourself, before you commit to something, is this actually going to get me results? Is this actually going to bring in business? What are the things that you're doing that you know that if you did consistently, that would bring you in business. Because I guarantee you, if you think about it, if you're an agent, you know the things that bring business. All those other things you just kind of do for fun or you try to improve, but you really only need one or two core things that you can just be the absolute best at and you can focus on. And I guarantee you that's going to allow you to achieve more by focusing on those two things instead of trying to do 10 or 15 different other things just to stay busy. This is where people get confused because they fill themselves and their time with so much busy work. So don't do that, because this is something that actually Dylan, this is a message from him when he had started. He said that he is glad that he decided to become an agent and start his career with me, and definitely was life-changing because he came in not knowing what to do. He came in extremely confused, overwhelmed, and just not knowing which direction he should go after. I told him, look, let's focus on these things. I helped him define exactly what I'm helping you define right now, these 7 steps. And he got the clarity he needed and achieved more than he thought that he was able to even do. So number 3, you've got to develop what's called a proof of concept, and then you got to turn that into a proven process. You see, once you've defined your mountain and you work with a couple of clients, you're going to find an underlying concept that's working that actually gets results. Because once you've developed your proof of concept, you can turn that into a proven process that's going to be able to recreate those same results time and time again. I don't want you to get stuck thinking that work is random and business is random, because it's not like that every time. There are things that are always there, that are always consistent, especially if you stick to a specific area, a specific niche, a specific target. If you stay there, you'll notice that certain things that you do always get the same results. And what's going to happen is, a proof of concept is you paying attention to things that you do that you're like, all right, I noticed that when I do this, I get this result. Write that down, pay attention to it. And if you consistently can keep doing those things and you can keep getting replicatable results, there's no need to change them or stop doing them. What you need to do is you need to keep refining them and improving them and testing them, because what's going to happen is you're going to turn that into what's called a proven process. This proven process is going to take you and your business to another level. It is life altering. You're going to be able to confidently sit down in front of a buyer or a seller and tell them, look, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to do it within this time, and I'm going to get this result, and then I'm going to be able to do this for you. The confidence that you're going to be able to exude onto that listing presentation, that buyer presentation, is just going to blow them out of the water, because there's so many agents out there that do not have this in place. And if you get one thing out of these 7 steps, do this. Make sure that you are aware of your proven process and your proven concept, because if you do, it's going to give you so much clarity and peace of mind, because you're going to know exactly what to do in your business, that you're going to be able to confidently say to someone, because if they work with you, you're going to be able to tell them, look, I'm going to do this for you, and I know that I'm going to be able to do it. And you're only going to know that you can do that if you've been paying attention to the things that you've been able to do time and time again.